drop for you today to really get you motivated, man. I'm gonna spark that fire under you, bro. I'm gonna get that shit rev the fuck up, bro. I hope you're excited. While you wait for the show to begin, please make sure you light up that thumbs up. Make sure you chat or you comment inside the chat box, wherever you're catching me, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or even IG. Be sure that you participate within this course because it only helps the channel and it helps yourself because you're not procrastinating. And so in this topic, we're going to cover some real amazing shit. I hope you guys are ready for this. Again, if you got kids or youngins around you in the area, you're going to want to probably turn the volume down because this shit does get explicit, boo-boo. Enjoy the show. What is up? Good morning to you, fam. Welcome to Friday morning. Every single Friday, we got the FIF show. FIF, in case you didn't know, stands for Fuck It Friday. And in these episodes, you and I, all of us, we get to vent at an even level where I want to illustrate and show you and demonstrate that no matter where you are, whether low at the medium or even at the higher level of where you're aspiring to be, you're still going to come across the same exact challenges. The trick and the real hack is that when you reach that next level, it's not like it gets easier. If anything, it actually gets a little bit more challenging, right? And what I've learned, though, is that as you progress and as you level up your life, your surroundings change, your mindset changes, your thoughts and your habits, and they change. But nonetheless, each and every single level face the same exact challenges. And so FIF is here to show you and to demonstrate that regardless of where you are, boo-boo, whether you're at the bottom tier, you're at the middle tier, you're at the top tier, and you're killing it right now, or you're struggling right now, or you just started and you're trying to find your way, at the end of the day, we all have the same exact challenges. We all got the same trials and we all got the same exact problems that kind of face us every single day. But what I've learned is that as you level up, the higher levels, even though they come across the same challenges, they just got a different way of handling it. And so if you can take away bits and pieces of how that level handles their shit, then I think you're going to walk away more empowered, more improved, and more confident knowing that you too can implement these habits, because there's just no avoiding these fucking challenges, right? There's just no avoiding the grind. At times, we convince ourselves that this grind could be too much. And so that actually is why I chose the topic of procrastination. First off, I want to appreciate every single one of you who actually submitted ideas. Please continue to send that to my team. If you got an idea for the FIF topic, like AD, talk about this, or AD, talk about that. Send it over to my team. You can send it to help@salesremastered. And what they'll do is they'll actually log it and make sure that I cover it throughout a random episode or even on an FIF Friday. But today I got a special episode for you, man. What we're going to talk about is the one thing that truly stunts your growth. The one thing that really eats at you. It sits on you. It's like a fucking anchor. Like, I don't know if you've ever pulled weight or if you've ever carried maybe a heavy bag or heavy backpack. It's kind of like that. Right. So when you're carrying shit and then you let it go and then you just feel so relieved, like if you've ever moved or you've ever went on vacation, you got heavy ass luggage or whatever it is. I want us to look at our internal procrastination, right? Like the way that we decide to push things off. I want us to look at that as the baggage. And the goal within this FIF Friday is really to help you kind of let that baggage go. Right. And I want to show you different ways on how to push yourself so that you don't get caught up with today's topic, procrastination. So let me tell you a story first. And the reason why I think procrastination, it applies to every single one of us, regardless if you're beginning, regardless if you've been doing it for a minute or if you're at the top tier killing it, we all get tempted with the temptation of procrastination because it's it's alluring, right? It's the easiest way to cop the fuck out. And I think that sometimes we actually put ourselves in this mode of procrastination because we actually look at the entire project at hand. Now, when I'm talking about project, boo-boo, I'm not talking about a fucking science project. What I'm talking about project is the project of you being the better you, or maybe even something as small as you getting ready for fucking work that day. Like sometimes, hey man, I'm guilty of it too. Like I said, regardless of whatever level you're at, you're gonna get tempted by this bitch called procrastination. That's just that bitch peeping in your ear. It's whispering in your ear like, hey, boo-boo, you don't need to do that. Hey, boo-boo, it's okay. Just do that shit tomorrow. Hey, boo-boo, you tried hard. You go and you get some rest. Man, fuck that. What I'm talking about is when you get up and you feel that sudden urge, because it will hit you today, whether you like it or not. And sometimes it might just be something as simple as going to the bathroom. Something as simple as maybe combing your hair. Like, man, if you go to work without combing your hair, boo-boo, you got to take care of yourself. But what I'm talking about are the things that you know that you need to do. And we see it as one big ass objective, kind of like our monthly goals, right? Or kind of like advancing our career, or kind of like advancing our relationships, or kind of like getting to know us better, giving us some time. You see, when we prioritize our events or our tasks or our activities, sometimes we look at that bitch as a fucking big project. Right? Like going back to the gym to get in better health, or meditating to, do me. Like, let me get some of me time. And we'll procrastinate that shit because our priorities are a little bit off. And we sometimes will opt and justify the reason why we push that bitch out because we think that we have better things to do. But in this episode, I want to tell you that those things that you do are actually just tasks. And there's a difference in these particular tasks. There's movement, and then there's effective movement. And what I'm talking about, the difference between the two is movement is when you feel like you're just fucking doing actions and shit. It feels like you're kind of just opting to do, like little baby steps forward towards a direction. There's no actual effective movement. Effective movement is what puts you closer to the end result. Does that make sense? So I want you to understand that if you can hack your mind to understand how to beat procrastination, then you can influence a way to ensure that your prospects also beat procrastination. Because what's one of the number one reasons why we don't even get prospects to act with urgency? It's because they procrastinate, boo-boo. And it's because sometimes we aren't even fucking bought into the message. We're looking at that project as a whole. And so we're not even bought into it. And what I'm talking about project is, the 1003, the credit report, the showings, the pre-approval, the tedious admin process and steps and tasks that kind of eat at us, and we look at it like, man, I don't want to do that. Well, you need to really think about the end result, right? Look at every single task and handle it one by one, because you do want to do that admin task. You do want to do that shit that pushes you away, because if you can overcome that challenge and break past that bitch ass temptation called procrastination, then I think you can really hone in and fucking get these little small wins. You see, when you look at a task that you normally push off, and this could be something as simple as hitting snooze, right? Like in the morning, like how many times do you hit snooze? Hey, I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I hit that bitch like 2 or 3 times. If you hit that bitch like 2 or 3 times at times, man, comment below. Let me know that you relate, because I do. Even though I seem like one of the most motivated motherfuckers you've ever met in your life, like I'm all coffeed the fuck up. Really, it's just passion. It's just throwing yourself into a particular mindset. Right? So you just need to be able to take one task at a time. You see, what I believe is that when you begin procrastinating right from the very beginning, let's use the example hitting snooze, you actually set up what's called a ripple effect. Like, meaning every single action has an equal reaction, right? And so if I hit snooze and I fucking procrastinated my day, like that's how I started, was like, give me a little bit minute, I'm gonna push that bitch off. That shit ripples throughout your entire day. You set up the momentum and the energy and the mindset of how you're gonna handle everything within that fucking day. And you might be like, yo, but D, sometimes it's super comfortable, bro. Hey, sometimes I find the cool side of the pillow and man, I gotta take at least another 5 minutes. But what the fuck does it really do for you for the long run? What does it do for your mentality? What does it do for you in order to actually avoid jumping out of bed and dominating your day? Because right when you open your eyes, it's actually best to take it step by step and just do one thing at a time. Don't look at the big ass project of like, fuck, I'm tired. Damn, I don't want to get up. It's comfortable in my bed. These are the little challenges that I'm using in this example, but you're going to find yourself going through this procrastination or you're going to face procrastination, or at least the option to procrastinate at some point today, at some point tomorrow, regardless of whatever fucking level you're at. You're going to face it next year, years after this. And my takeaway here is that procrastination will always be there. As a matter of fact, procrastination rules a lot of us, and we're all guilty of it. I'm nothing special, boo-boo. I do that shit all the time, and I'm sure that if you can own up to the fact that you may opt to procrastinate at times, then that's the first step of moving forward. In order to fix a problem, is the very first step you need to do is actually admit there is a fucking problem. And if there is a fucking problem, it doesn't mean that you're doing anything bad. It doesn't mean that you know what I mean, like you should just throw in the towel and just give up and be like, fuck that, I'm just a great procrastinator, woe is me. I'm talking about fucking hack your shit, revise your shit, like get into a habit where you're just like, fuck procrastination. Next time you think of procrastination and next time you face it, I want you to think of procrastination as that just ugly, lazy bitch that's just sitting in your head like that little fucking, you know what I mean? Like that probably fart, don't even bathe all day, like that nastiness, right? Like it's just a germ. And if you can kind of convince yourself to really look at it that way, then you'll look at it as bad as kind of like touching a stove. Like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get burnt if I touch that stove, right? So kind of that type of effect. But it does take time. I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy to fucking do whatever the fuck it is you need to do with that you're usually procrastinating. So whether you're a salesman who's been planning to maybe create your own brand, or you're a salesman who's been planning to get into one of the courses at Sales Remastered so you can fucking skyrocket to the fucking top, or whether you were planning to be better in your relationships or be a better parent or be a better employee or be better to your fucking self because you don't even give yourself some time to fucking hone in and understand how you operate, understand how you're wired, understand how you can improve your day-to-day tasks, because you look at that bitch as like a fucking project. In other words, if you go into a diet and you say, man, I got to lose 30 pounds, you're looking at that whole entire 30 pounds, right? And so sometimes you get convinced like, fuck, it means I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then it becomes over-analysis. And then what happens when we over-analyze? We become paralyzed. We become kind of stuck because we don't want to take the first step that's going to then kind of invest us into a direction where we got to show up and we got to fucking face our truth. So the underlying reason why procrastination is so easy is because of two reasons. Number one is fear. Fuck fear. I already did an episode on FIF against fear. And I want you to know that fear is just a fucking illusion, right? It's an illusion that you and I, and again, we're both on the same exact level. Fear is something that we believe is true. Fear is a fucking illusion because that shit didn't even fucking happen yet, right? If you think about a lot of things that you currently fear right now, that shit hasn't even happened. You know what has happened is the experiences that you've had within your past. Maybe you saw your family go through it. Maybe you've been through it. Maybe, you saw it in a fucking movie, or you heard about it in some song, some sad ass R&B song. I want you to know that shit has nothing to do with you though. You see, I think that sometimes when we face fear, it's because we need to be perfect. I believe that done is better than perfect. I believe that we have plenty of goes at this bitch. And if you fuck up, you fuck up. But at least you know now not to do it, right? And that little small win, that little small execution of fucking facing your fears and breaking past that bitch will allow you to start forming good habits. If you want to become a titan, whatever the fuck it is you do, parenting, fucking spouse, love, relationships, work, whatever it is you do, boo-boo. If you want to fucking be better at what it is that you do, and you want to achieve and you want to climb that ladder and you want to reach that next level, you gotta own the fuck up and say, man, do I really need to procrastinate this shit? Right? Like you could procrastinate other things that don't put you forward. Like procrastinate catching up on Santa Clarita's Diet on Netflix and shit. Don't block out 3 hours of your fucking weekend just to watch Santa Clarita's Diet or whatever fucking GOT, Game of Thrones, whatever. Fun fact, I never watched an episode of Game of Thrones in my life. And for every fan out there that's raving GOT till you die, hey, I don't hate it. I'm not hating on you. I'm not judging you or anything. But me personally, as a grown ass man, I just don't like watching Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards and shit, because I think that my time is better spent elsewhere. So your time is better spent elsewhere by not sitting, dwelling on the fucking fears that you got that's keeping you down. Because like I said, procrastination are like weights. Man, if you walk all throughout day with weights on and shit and a heavy ass backpack carrying heavy ass luggage, all that is your insecurities, your fears, right? The second reason why we choose to procrastinate is because the fear of other people's opinions, meaning that we need to be perfect and do it because if we fail, what the fuck is everyone else going to think? So today, I invite you to look at it in a completely different way. Next time you go into a challenge and you get tempted by that little bitch voice, which belongs to procrastination, talking about, hey, boo-boo, don't worry about it. Just do it tomorrow. Just do it next week. Hey, we can always do it next month. Fuck it. Next year is cool. Hey, end of summer, right? Something that's telling you an easy way out. I want you to remember this FIF episode, and I want you to flip it the fuck off and say, fuck you, bitch. I ain't gonna procrastinate shit, because that means that's taken away from my family. That's taken away from my pockets. That's taken away from my money, right? And I need you to protect that shit, because when you go into something and you face fear, usually the reason why you hold yourself back is because you're fearful that you're gonna execute it incorrectly or you're going to fail. And then also it's going to then give you this image in whoever the fuck is watching, right? Like, oh shit, I don't want to make a fool of myself. Man, fuck their opinion, because that opinion doesn't pay your fucking bills, boo-boo. You know what pays your fucking bills? Execution. You know what pays your bills? Fucking wins, right? Like fucking delivering, like making shit happen. And you need to really adopt that message. You need to understand that mindset, because ain't nobody judging you that's worth your time, right? Ain't nobody's opinion going to be so good enough that you're just going to feel so fucking euphoric, right? Like, I don't need no one's fucking approval. I don't even fucking need your approval. And I hope you don't need my approval either. Does that make sense? You need to get fucking mad. Like, fuck that shit. I ain't procrastinating shit anymore, boo-boo. I'm going to go and get mine. And I hope that you find within this share and within this FIF Friday, the courage to muster up. And next time you hear that bitch ass voice called procrastination whisper in your ear, the easy way out, I want you to take that as an invite to blow past that. Take the hard route out, right? Understand that it's actually not hard if you break it down piece by piece. You see, every single project is made up of different actions, right? So your project, for example, of May could be to build a pipeline. It could be to build a relationship. It could be to foster referral partners. But within that project, there's all these little sequences, right? I got to make calls. I got to do inbound calls. I got to, I got to do pitches. I got to do applications. I got to do events. I got to do networking. And so sometimes we look at it as a whole, and then we see all this daunting to-do list and tasks. And then so we kind of shine away from it like, oh, boo-boo, I don't got any fucking time. What the fuck else are you doing? The whole reason why you need that project done is so you could put yourself up to that next level. If you're not trying to climb to that next level, again, boo-boo, what the fuck are you doing? Please don't tell me you're watching GOT. Don't trade your happiness, your freedom, and your financial well-being for a fucking episode of Dungeons and Dragons. Man, comment below if you feel me. I hope you do, and I hope you take this invitation to look at procrastination and say, fuck you. You know why? Because procrastination don't pay your fucking bills. You know what does? Execution, action, and fucking great habits. So get a fucking habit with me today and join me every single Friday, 7:30 a.m. I'm going to do an FIF episode. Email me. There's a link below. You want to check out the courses. I got this massive special. For those of you who've already received my emails, I've had a ton of success over the last couple of weeks. Not only myself, but my team. And not only my team or myself, but also all the students enrolled in Sales Remastered. And I'm celebrating today only. There's a coupon code. When you go to checkout, go to salesremastered.com. When you choose whichever program that you want to invest in, don't fucking procrastinate. Remember, there's going to be that little urge like, man, I'll just do it later. Don't let that shit happen, boo-boo. This shit's only today. So go pick the program that you've always wanted, right? And it could be the Sales Boost Camp, because you probably want to work with me, right? You want that direct mentoring and guidance, and you want to just unlock your full potential. That's fine. When you go to the checkout at salesremastered.com, there's going to be a place to put on a coupon code. That coupon code is formula. Again, coupon code is formula. Any product, the entire website is 50% off today, but that's only today. So be sure that you take advantage of this. Don't fucking push off your success. Don't push off, your time to win. This time is your time to eat, and you only got fucking air and opportunity between you and taking the next step to reach that next motherfucking level. So say it with me, everybody. FIF is dedicated to procrastination, and fuck procrastination, because it's all about you getting yours. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you have a fucking dominating day today. I'll see you at the top.